Hello and welcome to When Wrestlers Act. I'm John Cronshaw and I'm joined by... what's his name? Guy. Comes on the podcast a lot. Manc accent. Colin! How you doing, Colin?
Hello, John.
Do you like that intro?
Yes.
I figured, change things up. It's been a long time since we did one of these.
I know, but I wish you wouldn't point out the Manc accent.
It's not the Manc accent, it's the fact that we've had to watch another film with wrestlers. Oh, right. I mean, not to give spoilers, but we watched Pro Wrestlers vs. Zombies, which was from,
12
something? Yeah, 20-something. And
2012.
I think it might have been 2014. I mean, it doesn't actually matter. Who did it star? It had Shane Douglas, the franchise.
Yes.
It had Kurt Angle.
The franchise.
It had the franchise Matt Hardy.
Yep.
Franchise Cal Val.
Franchise Roddy Piper.
Yeah. Franchise
Jim Duggan.
Reby Skye.
Yeah. Hacksaw Jim franchise.
Yeah. So there was a lot of franchises.
Yes, I think so.
Yeah. So, yeah, we watched Pro Wrestlers vs. Zombies.
Well, it opened up well because it has the lovely Cal Val in it, and she has legs, 2 of them, in fact, and they're quite lovely legs, and she's been so... What does she actually do?
I'll be honest, Colin, I mean, you're coming in with this now. I mean, we were recording this last in, 2016.
Yeah.
It's 2018 now, man. You can't be talking about legs. I know you are, as a red-blooded male, attracted to the female ladies, but let's be honest... You can't be saying that you find bits of women attractive, man.
Okay, but
what's wrong with you? What is wrong with you?
What does Cal Val actually do?
I want you to make a donation or something. It's political correctness. You need to be up with this stuff. Okay. Sort yourself out.
I'll make a donation to Rose McGowan.
I know you've saved a lot in the bank. Sorry, what? Didn't I what? Did I? Oh, no, we reviewed Ready to Rumble.
Yes.
With the lovely Rose McGowan. And Charmed with the lovely aforementioned Rose McGowan.
Whatever happened to Rose McGowan?
I don't know. But this was an interesting film, let us say. The concept and title is Pro Wrestlers vs. Zombies.
Yes.
And like all good zombie movies, it had zombie in the title.
Yes.
Or dead. Because actually, my favourite zombie... What is your favourite zombie film, actually?
Shaun of the Dead.
That is a good one. It's no Dawn of the Dead, which is the best. And Bio Zombie is also brilliant. Well, you've got to watch it in the original Chinese, not the English dub.
Okay.
Because the characters all sound like Jay and Silent Bob.
Can we go and watch that instead of what we've just watched?
I don't know if there's any wrestlers in it. Not that will stop us, but... so this has got a big cast. This is a big cast production.
An
ensemble cast. And it starts off, you've got the franchise Shane Douglas in the ring with Billy. Who's Billy? Don't know, don't care. He's just a guy.
Yes.
He gives him a tombstone, breaks his neck, dies. Whoa.
That's because Shane, the franchise, sees Billy with his woman.
Yeah.
And he goes and punches a couple.
Oh, what was she called?
I don't know.
What was she called?
Tanya or something?
Taya? Yeah.
Taya something or other.
Yeah. So, Taya Fisher?
No.
Taya Fleur? No.
I know it begins with F.
Yeah.
Whatever.
What Taya begins with F, yeah. So,
there's a graphic at the start, actually, which says the ring is the only place you can kill a man and get away with it.
Right.
So that plays into that opening sequence.
Okay. See, when they showed that, I was just like, oh, that's a bit weird.
Yes.
I wonder what that's connected to. And I didn't think that
could actually happen.
Yeah, but this is quality writing. You're getting connections all the way through. You're getting running themes.
Quality writing by Cody Knotts.
Cody Knotts. Well, we can talk about him in a bit, but yeah. So we've got that. We've got the death of Billy. Billy is the brother of Angus.
Who has an accent.
He has an accent. What accent is it, Colin? Tell me the accent, please.
Name an English-speaking country throughout the world.
No, seriously, what was it? Because I had no idea.
I don't know. I mean, it could be South African. It could be.
I thought it was kind of Irish-ish, maybe Isle of Man, maybe.
I think... Have you ever seen Braveheart?
I've seen Braveheart too.
What, the quest for more money?
No, the one where you got the pig and he goes to the TV studios and stuff. And
Oh, yeah. Lost in New York?
yeah, the one on the boat.
Yeah. Well, I think it might be Scottish, but it could be the worst Scottish accent I've heard.
That was not a Scottish
I
accent.
think it might supposed to be Scottish.
No, if anything, it was Irish.
He's called Angus.
So?
You're like that schoolboy out of the AC/DCs.
Oh, Aberdeen Angus.
Yeah.
The guitarist.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's your argument, is that this guy is allegedly Scottish. Okay, that's fine.
He's called Angus.
I'll have more to say about allegedly Scottish people later on.
Okay.
Right.
And what about real Scottish people? You've got plenty to say about them.
Well, yeah. I mean, I went to Castle Douglas this summer. It was completely fine. Had a battered Mars bar. Felt like I needed a diet for 4 weeks after it. So I went on a diet for 4 weeks after it. Yeah, I did. I felt like my arteries were going to die after eating it. I mean, it was great. You know what I mean? Really tasty.
But yeah, I had battered Mars bar once and killed my deep fat fryer.
Yeah.
It was worth it.
After this, we had some random goth girl with large boobs getting attacked by Angus. And
I think she was supposed to be a nurse. Oh, but they did the
I mean, she did have white tights on.
Yeah.
So.
I think, though, that you forgot to mention the let's do the talk and pretend to scare someone thing.
No, that's that scene.
Yeah, I
so
know.
she comes out and she gets scared.
Yeah, but there's that guy who's playing a prank
Oh.
on the stretcher.
Okay.
Then she pulls a blanket and she goes, ah! And then he runs away and she calls him a dick. And
Yeah.
then Angus comes and...
You're absolutely right.
Yeah,
I'm
and-
glad you pointed that out.
Angus kills her, well, comes and takes her.
Spoiler.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Could we Angus takes her and gags her, and it's all very like in a lot of wrestling things. It all starts to get a bit rapey, but there's no raping.
No, there's just bondage and her getting her
Undressing.
Yeah. Her boobs pretty much popping out everywhere, and then gets killed and heart eaten.
Yeah.
Because that's what you do.
And then she comes back as a zombie about 3 to 4 seconds later.
So I'm glad that happened, because, we had the bit of the film which, when I was watching films like this when I was younger, this would be the point where my mum would walk in or my girlfriend would walk in. It's like, oh, you're watching bondage porn. Well, not now. Like, this is like, what was it I was watching? Forget the name. I think it was called Zombie King, and it was about luchadors. We need to watch this, actually, if I can find it again. It was on the Sci-Fi Channel at about 2 a.m, but it was luchadors fighting zombies. And I was watching it for about half an hour. It was great, just stupid, wacky stuff. And then there was a bit where there was this woman who decided to hide in a truck, I think. And then she was just playing with the nipples.
And was this the
And
bit
that
where
was
your mum walked in?
Literally the point. My mum was staying at my house. She came down. I was on the sofa masturbating. I wasn't masturbating, really, but I was watching.
No, you just finished.
Yeah, I just wiped up by then, But yeah, I think I was there with my mop and bucket. My mum walked in. Yeah. 2018, everyone. Yeah. No, so it wasn't that. Well, yeah, I was there. I was watching it. It was absolutely innocent, completely innocent. And, yeah, it just looked bad. You know what I mean? It's not meant to look bad. I mean, I didn't mean it to look bad. Do you know what I mean? I didn't want my mother to come in and go, oh, you're watching porn. And when you protest, it's like, this isn't what it looks like. You go, Mum, this isn't pornography.
Is it like when someone who is hammered tells you that they're not drunk?
Yeah. So I was like, Mum, this, just sit and watch it with me. It's not pornography. It's just some woman twisting her nipples in a car. She's stimulating herself, but it's fine. There's zombies and wrestlers on the way, so...
So for you, was this just a bonus?
Well, it just gets awkward, so I'm glad it was just you and me. That's all I'm saying. Angus, this is the Aberdeen Angus. We know that because his name's Angus and he's allegedly Scottish.
We think.
Yeah.
Maybe let's just call him South African.
So he's vowed revenge on Shane Douglas. He wants to kill his family. He wants to destroy his life because Shane Douglas, if you remember, first scene going back was he killed Billy. You know Billy, that character we love and...
Completely forgot about. There was that shady deal with the promoter, Cody Knotts, and whatever it's called, Angus, that's it.
Yeah.
And it's all, can you get me Shane Douglas? And he hands over lots of cash. And he says, I can also get you Roddy Piper, Hacksaw, Reby Skye,
yeah,
Matt Hardy. Oh, and
the rest of the cast of this film.
And the rest of the cast of this film. And for some reason...
It's on the DVD box, you know.
And for some reason, Kurt Angle,
yeah,
who was in it for literally one scene, he was supposed to be a surprise at this wrestling show that they were not putting together.
In an abandoned prison.
In an abandoned prison.
That happened to be filled with zombies.
That happened to be filled with zombies.
Yeah, so we get introduced to Hot Rod.
Yes.
Roddy Piper.
Yes.
He's there. So that's good.
What I learned about Roddy Piper is he doesn't have a phone.
He doesn't have a phone. And there's a woman who's into marketing.
Yeah. Strangely attractive.
I didn't think so at all. I thought she wasn't.
Maybe this was the 14-year-old side of me coming out.
But yeah, she was into marketing and she created sexual tension, let's say. She was a bit flirty, a bit flirtatious, but she wanted to get the thing running. She wanted to get the show right. So this was, with Cody and Shane Douglas and
Hot Rod's
there. So it's going to be good.
Oh, there's that really cringy scene on the bus where lots of people are doing something that's a couple away, supposedly a couple of steps away from having Nucky, and it was all decidedly awkward.
Yeah. So who was in this scene? It was Matt Hardy
and Reby.
Yeah, and I think there was Shane Douglas's missus. She was trying it on with someone, and I think basically she was
Taya as well.
Yeah, yes. And that one who's into marketing was going around. What was her name? We didn't find out, did we? Until an hour and 7 minutes into the film.
An hour and 7 minutes. Right. We found out that. Shall I spoil it, John, and tell them that?
No.
She was called Sarah.
No, don't do that.
Right.
We had to sit through this film going, oh, well, she's obviously a big character. She's not going to be important because I haven't mentioned a name.
But do you not remember the tagline of this this podcast from all those many moons ago since we last recorded, that we watch his shit so that they don't have to?
Yeah.
So, Hot Rod, he doesn't have a phone.
Yeah, we find that out.
This prison officer demands to take everybody's phone.
Hang on, you've missed out a really important scene.
Have I?
Yes. You've missed out the scene in the cafe on the way to the prison where the women fall out. And basically, if you fall out and you're a woman in wrestling, then you've got two insults. Do you know what they are, Colin?
Is it tramp and bitch?
Oh, very close.
I know one of them's bitch.
Yeah, bitch and whore.
Whore, yes.
So there was people being called a bitch, people being called a whore. So we knew that the women had fallen out. A drink got thrown in someone's face, and it was all very awkward.
And Hot Rod told the drink thrower off because he's a gentleman.
I'm just going to have a bit of an aside here, but...
What, another?
It's directly related to... It's just a point that I want to make. So all the people in this who had obviously had a script and had lines and stuff, they were literally just reading them and being in place and, they could do the wrestling moves, and that was fine. Like, Roddy Piper could actually act, but he just seemed really out of place and really weird because he was the only one who could obviously act. You know what I mean? Like, nothing against the other people, because it was just... You could tell this film was just a lot of fun for the people involved, but he was doing his role very seriously, and he was trying his best with the lines of dialogue.
Such as, I won't give you my phone.
I don't have a phone.
And if I did have one, I wouldn't give it to you.
Yeah. Why say that? That's just adding to antagonism, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's just being rude. It's like, you just could have said, look, I don't have a phone. I'm Roddy Piper. You know, I've got, I don't know, handlers, managers, people. I just use Twitter nowadays. You know, I've got my podcast, and this was a few years ago when, before. Well, so they arrive at the prison, and we get a glimpse of what's going on at the prison because we see a lot of zombies.
Yeah, I mean, there's been various scenes before this which are completely unimportant, but where people are getting zombified by large groups of zombies, overwhelming people. I think there was there a wrestling show where they did it in the prison, but before that?
I think so.
Something like that. Anyway, zombies were created and in the prison.
Yeah.
There was, and then the wrestlers, the ensemble cast turned up to said prison, and suddenly they were attacked by zombies.
No, they weren't. It wasn't quite suddenly. Because they
there must have been at least a few seconds before it.
No, because they went and there was a wrestling ring. And someone says, "Oh, there's a big pool of blood. That doesn't look good." They're like, "Oh no, it's treacle or something corn syrup."
Yeah.
That
was daft actually because it was that woman who we don't know is called Sarah.
Yeah,
she discovered it. This is blood, and then some guy says, "This is not blood, it is corn syrup."
Yeah.
Then says under his breath, "Don't fuck this up for me." And then she says, "I'm sorry," and then sort of leads him to a storage cupboard in order to presumably give him some sort of sexual act.
Possibly, yeah.
We're led to believe.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. But yeah, it's like she goes, "There's something not right here." Then we have the badly dubbed sex scene.
I think that's putting me off sex for a while.
It was really weird. It was like the dubbing was wrong, the sound was weird, and it was kind of like, okay, this just sounds like porn. It wasn't like, you get a sex scene in a film and it sounds like a sex scene in a film. This was like just full-on hardcore super sex,
See, I think Matt Hardy's sexy, but that's really put me off.
Yeah.
Do you reckon that was when they created King Maxwell, though? Right there.
I think the timing would make sense, actually.
Well, do you know what then, John? We've witnessed the birth of history.
Yeah. Okay, that's cool.
So, that scene makes sense to me.
Yeah. This is where we get the appearance of Kurt Angle, and he's fighting zombies.
Mm-hmm. Well, actually, we've gone a little bit forward there, I think, because there's the zombie standoff and with the people in the ring, and then Jeff Hardy and Reby are there as well. But then it's
Jeff wasn't
sorry, Matt, same thing. Matt Hardy, Matt Hardy and Reby are joined with the others. But then there's a zombie fight, and it's a bit of an introduction and everything. The zombies are surrounding the ring. People standing back to back as if it's like, I don't know, a faction attacking someone in wrestling.
Yeah.
And then it cuts to Kurt Angle, who he's walking in the back because it's supposed to be a surprise entrance for him. And then he gets attacked by zombies, so he does what every wrestler knows to do and has a wrestling fight with these zombies. And at one point, he gives one of them an angle slam.
Yeah.
If only he'd given one of them an ankle lock as well.
Did you like his line where he said, "Pittsburghers know how to kill the undead," and then he gets turned into a zombie?
Yeah, and that's the last we see of Kurt Angle.
Zombie Angle did do an angle slam. So.
Oh, actually, remember that, yeah.
So
I thought that bit was great.
Yeah. Now, I don't know if this was just me and my filthy mind. Right. But
pray continue.
Right. There are a few bits around this point of the film where I thought they were really trying to make some dodgy anal sex references. I'm going to give you some lines. I don't know who said this one. I think it was Shane Douglas, where he says, "I'm going to stretch his ass." That was one. There was also when one of the when one of the women sarcastically said, "I love going down that dirty tunnel." when they were going into a dirty-looking tunnel.
I thought she said, "I'm not going down that dirty tunnel."
No, because it was sarcastic. She's like, yeah, and I love going down that dirty tunnel.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that was interesting. Just putting that out there. I mean, it might, as I say, that might say more about me than it does the film. This is where we got the bit with Matt Hardy fighting the zombies as if he was in a ECW hardcore match.
The one thing I like when you see wrestlers in films like this is they resort to what they know best, wrestling. And at one point, Matt Hardy is fighting them off with a ladder.
Yeah. And he's doing it like you would in a wrestling match, where it's like, instead of, I don't know, swinging it, it's like kind of poking it towards them.
And running at them with it.
Yeah. So that was good. I enjoyed that. And then...
and then him and Reby, he gets half through the door. And when I say half through the door, I mean literally half through the door. It's just his torso. But he's now an undead zombie.
Oh, you've missed...
I haven't.
Yes, you have. You've missed the best bit of that fight scene.
What, where he's crawling along the bars at the top?
No, when he choke slams the Resusciani doll.
Yeah.
he does a choke slam on someone, and it is just the most blatant, like, dummy ever. It's just like some kind of rubber doll just bouncing.
It does look like one of those Resusciani dolls you get on a first aid course.
Yeah.
And, yeah... That was hilarious. Getting back to that bit, he gets half through the door, and when I say half through the door, it's just his torso.
Yeah.
And then Reby, oh no, Matt Hardy, please don't be dead. And then he bites her, and then they're both zombies, and Hacksaw clunks both of them on the head with the 2x4, and that's them gone.
Yeah. And then, what is it, Shane and Hacksaw are trapped in a room together?
Yep.
And Hacksaw...
Well, like a corridor.
Yeah, and Shane...
They're having a good moment.
They are. It's a bit of a heartfelt moment.
A bit of a bro moment.
Yeah, it's like, we're going to do this, we'll be together. And then Shane, like a bastard...
runs off, scared. And Hacksaw not being as quick. And then Shane just locks the door. He doesn't deliberately... kill Hacksaw, it's just his cowardice.
What does he say? He comes out with a line at that point of jobbers die, not main eventers. Which is when Hacksaw died. So yeah, I think that he did that on purpose. He's like, I'm better than Hacksaw Jim Duggan, I'm afraid.
Which he isn't.
No. This is where Shane's lady, would you call her? His girlfriend, whatever, she leaves, she's cross with him. Never to be seen again.
Confronted with the truth.
Yeah, she sees him for what he is, and she just leaves. And is she
I
dead?
think that is, I don't know.
She doesn't appear again in the film. That doesn't get resolved.
And then you've got Hot Rod sort of face to face with the zombies. This is the best scene in the film.
This is the best scene. I love this scene. This was, we go back to the episode of They Live.
Yeah.
And it wasn't as good as the long drawn out fight scene.
Nowhere near.
No, but it was still great, and it was full of great lines. So
yeah.
I liked him when he was going, I hate zombies, die, double die, because obviously they're zombies, so they need to be dead twice.
Then he puts one in a fridge and says, cool off.
Yeah, and then shoves him in and goes, I'm putting you on ice.
Yeah.
So
and then seals it with a pencil.
Yeah. And and then he goes, oh, it's the first time I've ever got the pencil, because booking, wrestling joke. So
I wondered about that. I was thinking, I don't speak wrestler.
Yeah.
So that's what it is. It's just
I think it's like it's if you have the pencil, that means you're the booker,
right?
So you create the matches and stuff. But Roddy never had the pencil. Apart from then,
Kingdom of Pencils, the man with the pen is king.
No, because with the pencil you can rub shit out. That's the point, That's why you use a pencil, not a pen.
Sorry, a pen is more permanent. That makes
but
that makes your decree.
Yeah, but then you can't respond to the crowds and stuff.
Well,
it makes sense.
So is it in the Kingdom of the Pens, the man with the pencil is king?
I've never been to either place, I'll be honest.
Okay.
This is where you get the good zombie stuff of you're now confronted with your zombie relative and you have to kill them. So we've seen this in pretty much every zombie film ever.
Yes.
And it's a great trope. I do. I think it really brings home the the tragedy of a zombie apocalypse, because it's always the mindless dead, the walking dead who are just out to get you. But
in Shaun of the Dead, it's Shaun of the Dead's mum.
Yeah, and they're real people, the people that we care about, and it humanises it and it makes it heartbreaking. And so he ends up having to kill his brother and his nephew and
his mother.
Yeah.
That's the last we see of him, really, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know if he lives or dies. I don't know what happened to him, to be honest.
I mean, I know the film was shit, but I just don't remember him disappearing. I don't remember seeing him after that.
No, I don't think we did.
Maybe he just got overwhelmed by zombies and that was that, and we consider him one of the zombies. And
no, I like to think that he is in the typical zombie fashion of the dick character wins out in the end.
Right, okay.
Which is the lesson in quite a few zombie films. I will refer back to Biozombie, which was a great zombie film.
I'll let you refer to that in however you want.
This is, I think we're pretty much getting to the climax of the film now. We get, I suppose it's the last stand. You've got the woman who's into marketing getting named. She gets a name at this point, so we can care about her.
I think she got a name a bit before that.
No, it was around here, because he goes, "Come on, Sarah." And he does like loads of weird growling, and there's an American flag, and
yes,
so
American flag for the Canadian Scottish person.
Yes, it's like he's a Canadian pretending to be Scottish. He's a patriotic American, but that's fine. He's acting, and he was good at acting. So I've got no problem with that. Roddy knows that he's not going to die because he goes, "I'm an icon. Ask Hogan."
Okay,
yeah. I mean that wouldn't make any difference to the mindless dead, let's be honest, but it was funny.
Yeah.
And kind of a... Did you have that reaction of it?
I think I'd switched off by then.
Yeah? Oh, you missed all the best stuff.
I thought Sting was the icon.
I think that would have been better asked Sting, to be honest. I think you would have get a bit more than a reaction.
Yeah, okay.
Do you know what I mean? I think if they do a director's cut or a re-edit... I mean, yeah, there was loads of dubbed...
They won't be able to do a re-edit now, will they, John?
I'm sure you could get a bit of dialogue where Roddy Piper said the word Sting and just hack it in there. It doesn't, like the sound editing on this film.
So it'll be ask Sting like that.
Yeah. And like a moment of like a WCW crowd from like 1998 or something.
So there's another fight, actually.
Yeah.
Sarah is overwhelmed by zombies.
This is true.
Hot Rod is overwhelmed by zombies, but they manage to fight them off. And then somehow...
Well, Roddy gets bitten, doesn't he?
I don't know. I mean,
or his jacket saves him.
I think it's his leather jacket that saves him. That's why I wear leather jackets, John.
Oh, right, yeah. His Ronda Rousey jacket.
His Ronda Rousey jacket. That's it. I mean, he's holding his arm, so I think maybe... The bite doesn't pierce his skin, it just gives him a big bruise.
Right, okay.
But it doesn't pierce his skin.
Okay. No, that's fine. Yeah. I think you're probably right.
But he takes his jacket off.
And he does say, "This is fucking ridiculous." And I thought, you're absolutely right, Roddy.
Yes. I could not agree with him any more than that. They're getting overwhelmed and she's all, Roddy, help me. And he's fighting them off. And then suddenly... she goes from being overwhelmed to fighting one of them off, and then something happens and it starts to affect Angus.
Yeah, and he kind of goes a bit fiery.
Yeah, there's a fiery graphic. There's a lot of bad graphics in this film.
Yeah.
And then...
They used to be called special effects, but there was nothing special about these ones.
Hey. And then Hot Rod says, do it again. He does it in better acting than I can do. But... So she does whatever the fuck she does again. And then she does it one more time and that saves the day.
Yeah.
And Hot Rod then embraces her, gives her his jacket. They embrace again under the American flag and this fucking film ends at that point.
They kiss under the American flag.
They kiss under the American flag because he's... Canadian Scottish and I don't even know what she is.
Yeah.
And that is the end of that.
Right, let me ask you a question, Colin. Genuine question.
Please do.
Are you glad we're doing this again?
I am, very much. It's cathartic. I'm a civil servant. I deal with sick people all week.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. You know, I'm glad we've done it. Maybe this will be our last episode. No. We're gonna.
No, we've got to make dollars and dollars and dollars off
So
this.
we've got merch, we've got stuff. We're gonna do the When Wrestlers Act live event.
Yeah.
In 2022, probably.
And we'll get T-shirts printed with the attendance on it as well.
2, and it'll just be us 2. Yeah.
You're not inviting Claire?
No, God, what's wrong with you? Yeah. So it'll basically just be the same as tonight, but with we'll be in the red with T-shirt printing.
So, John,
get the stool chart.
the Bristol stool chart for me says that this is a 5 out of 7.
Oh, go on.
Well, that means you've gone past that point of lumpy shit, and it starts to become squelchy.
Yeah.
This wasn't the worst thing in the world that I've seen. It was fucking terrible. But then we watched Weird Science.
Yeah, like if you look back
We've seen far worse than this.
Yeah, we have. For what this was,
Yeah.
this was a lot of fun. It was ridiculous. It was
wasn't
over the
a
top.
lot of fun, was it?
It was. It was really stupid.
I did not have fun watching this film.
Oh, come on. I had.
All right, I did. I laughed at it. I laughed at it. I mean, I didn't want to laugh. I did it in spite of myself.
No, you were just being too cool for school, weren't you? You were that kid at a kid's party who refuses to laugh at the entertainment.
But this is by no means the worst thing that I've ever seen.
No, if you're
on
gonna,
these podcasts.
If you were going to put this on the Bristol stool chart, then it would be just a nice, easy out. It comes out. It's shit, but it's painless.
Squelchy.
Yeah, it's pain free. It is what it is.
But it's one of those where you think, oh, I think it's alcohol poop. Yeah, do you know when you've been drinking too much?
Yeah.
And you've had a few crisps, but you didn't go for that kebab. And then in the morning, you have a big one, and it's sticky. It's sticky shit. Sticky.
Okay.
And, you wipe your bum, and you have to peel the toilet paper away from your ring. But
I'll be honest, Colin,
it doesn't hurt.
Colin, it
doesn't bleed.
You. This is just you. A sticky shit. What?
Anyway.
I'm glad we're doing this again. Finding out too much information
about my bowel.
About your bowel.
Well, this is how I discovered the stool chart. It was a holy event for me. You should have seen what I had that made me Google.
What on earth caused this? What does this mean? Am I going to die?
The picture I took of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I sent it to you.
Yeah, well, no.
But it was shit. It was messy shit.
I just did a snort laugh.
It was shit. It was messy shit. But it was over quickly after an hour and a fucking half.
Yeah, and there was, what kind of peel would it be with a lot of holes, let's say? A lot of gaps.
A lot of gaps. So maybe it's no, I don't know.
Just little.
No, this isn't a
disconnected
one.
No, but there's
that's a 1 on the stool chart.
Disconnected stuff, though.
I think it's a combination of maybe a 1 into a 5.
All right, then what would it be if it kind of starts? You get the hint of something, and then it just disappears.
I think that's a 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I think there we go then.
Yeah.
Got our first 5 of season 2 of When Wrestlers Act.
Hooray!
Yeah.
Do you want to plug yourself again, John, seeing as this is a shameless plug for you to get rich?
We've got a Patreon, allegedly. Links in the show notes. What we're going to do on there is, if you enjoy us talking rubbish about rubbish, we're going to do more of that.
Hooray!
So I think we're going to do films on the main feed, and then if you want TV shows and when actors wrestle, I don't know. We'll think of other gimmicks.
Stephen Amell.
Oh, possibly.
Drew Carey.
Well, we did Drew Carey, didn't we? But, kind of non-wrestling film related stuff that's also amusing to us in a vague way. We'll put it on Patreon, and you can support us and help pay for this stuff because, you've been freeloading for ages. So, not that I've got disdain for you or anything for listening to this, but
No, it's more contempt, isn't it?
kind of. I don't want to be too mean, but there is that kind of give me money, but don't talk to me kind of thing. So please don't follow me on Twitter at WWA Podcast.
Well, what's your other Twitter?
At JL Cronshaw. So if you want to see my author crap, that's where to go.
And buy a book.
Yeah, it's all right. Wrestling fans.
Well,
I've got some audio books. You can, can listen to them, I guess. Yeah.
Shall we end it here?
No, really though, if you're listening to this, thank you, because we've been away for nearly 2 years, and the fact you're here now, we do appreciate it. So until next time, cheerio.
Bye-bye.